Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awaken Your Freedom Show. Please subscribe to support our growing community. Today, we're not just, scratching the surface of manifestation. We're really diving deep. This is inspired by Roxie Nafousi's book, Manifest, Dive Deeper. And forget that basic idea of just wishing for stuff. This goes way beyond that. It's more about transforming yourself, right? Becoming the kind of person who just naturally attracts the life they want.
Exactly. It's less about wishful thinking and more about, well, becoming. We've got some really great ideas from the book here. Think of it as a roadmap for inner work. Our goal, really, in this deep dive is to pull out those core principles, the inner shifts that actually power the outer results. So you get some, hopefully, really useful insights for your own growth.
Okay, let's get into it. The first big one, Nafousi says it's the foundation, the absolute starting line, self-worth. She has this quote, and it really it hits home. We never rise above the beliefs we hold about ourselves. Makes you think, doesn't it? Like, do you really deep down believe you're worthy? Worthy of great love, real wealth, genuine joy, success?
That's the absolute core of it, that launching point. And Nafousi really pushes you to ask those tough questions.
Yeah.
Where does that little voice creep in? The not enough voice? Is it work, love, just feeling happy? So often we're just replaying these old tapes, these stories telling us we aren't actually deserving.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in those old narratives. But think about someone like Oprah Winfrey. Her background. I mean, poverty, abuse, rejection early on. You wouldn't predict the kind of success she achieved. But clearly, she did some serious inner work. She must have fundamentally shifted how she saw herself, her worth. And look at the result. Billionaire, global influence. She manifested something that looked impossible from where she started.
Oprah's story is, wow, such a powerful example of this. And what's key here, what Nafousi points out, is that self-worth isn't about ticking boxes or external stuff. It's not about your resume. It's about who you are. It comes from self-awareness, setting boundaries, having compassion for yourself, and really committing to healing.
Okay, so self-worth is step one.
Yeah.
But then, Nafousi argues our subconscious mind is kind of running the show behind the scenes, like a hidden operating system.
That's a great way to put it. She really gets into the mechanics, talks about neuroplasticity too, how our brains can actually change. And all those past experiences, the limiting beliefs we picked up, they get stored down there in the subconscious. And that can create what she calls a manifestation ceiling. It's like you can only go so far because of those hidden blocks.
Okay, so when we see those annoying patterns repeating, like ending up in the same kind of bad relationship again or always struggling with money, it's not bad luck. It's maybe our subconscious just replaying old scripts.
Precisely. It's running the old program because it feels familiar, even if it's not what we consciously want. And this even explains self-sabotage sometimes. You get close to something great, an opportunity lands in your lap, and bam, you do something to mess it up. It's the subconscious trying to pull you back to what it knows, what feels, quote unquote, safe, even if it's painful.
Wow, okay, that's a lot. How do you even start to change something that deep? Seems kind of daunting.
Well, Nafousi offers practical ways in. It's about consciously rewriting that story. Things like affirmations, yeah, but consistently. Therapy can be huge. Journaling, meditation. These are tools to access and gently reprogram those beliefs. She uses this great analogy, cleaning up the basement before designing your mansion. You need that solid foundation first.
Yeah.
And knowing about neuroplasticity helps too, right? Knowing your brain can change gives you hope and power. It's not fixed.
Right, okay.
Oh,
That makes it feel more possible.
yeah.
So build self-worth. Start working on the subconscious. What's next? Where does the dive deeper part really come in?
This is where it gets really powerful. Nafousi puts a huge emphasis on healing. She says it's not just part of manifestation, it's maybe the most powerful tool you have.
Wow. Okay, healing is the most powerful manifestation tool. That's
Yeah.
profound. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. She says the more we heal, the more space we create for miracles. Think about it. If you're carrying around heavy stuff, old grief, shame, feelings of being abandoned, rejected, it's like energetic clutter. It blocks the flow. You're trying to attract good things, but your energy is kind of pushing them away unconsciously.
Okay, yeah, like trying to pour clean water into a cup that's already full of mud. There's
Yeah.
just no room.
Exactly. And you see this play out. Think about Lewis Howes. He had this massive setback, career-ending injury, totally broke. His big shift wasn't just positive thinking. It was facing and healing deep childhood stuff, abuse, feeling unworthy. Once he did that really hard inner work, his whole life changed. Business took off, relationships improved, everything shifted.
So healing isn't just like self-care if you have time. It's actually essential, a core strategy.
Totally. Nafousi basically frames healing as a wealth strategy, not just financial wealth, but overall well-being. The more whole you become, the more healed you are, the more magnetic you become to everything you desire. You stop repelling it with old pain.
Got it. Build worth, reprogram subconscious, heal the past.
Yeah.
But it's not passive, right? Nafousi is clear. You don't just sit back and wait. Action is involved.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Principle number 4, take aligned action. She puts it bluntly. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Meaning, your energy, your habits, your actions, they all have to line up with what you say you want.
Can you give some examples of what that misalignment looks like? Like in real life?
Sure, maybe someone says they want abundance, but they're constantly talking about how broke they are, how everything costs too much. That's scarcity thinking. Or wanting deep love, but being terrified of vulnerability, so they push people away. Or dreaming of a successful business, but, not actually putting in the hours or taking the needed steps. The actions don't match the dream.
Right, the walk doesn't match the talk. And she uses Beyoncé as an example of alignment.
Yes, perfect example. Beyoncé didn't just wish she was a superstar. Her mindset was clearly aligned with intense work ethic, discipline, practice, pushing through failures. Her actions screamed greatness just as much as her vision did. Total alignment.
So the raw truth is, effort is required. You got to do the work. The universe isn't just going to hand it to you.
Exactly, you have to show up for your dreams. But then, here's the twist. Principle number 5, surrender, letting go. How does that fit with taking action? Seems kind of contradictory.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Act like crazy, but also let go.
It's a paradox, definitely, but a really important one. Nafousi says you act as if it all depends on you set the intention, do the work, take the aligned steps, but at the same time, you have to trust the universe, the bigger picture. You have to release the how, let go of controlling every single detail.
So be super clear on the what's and the why, but release the need to dictate the exact path or timing.
Exactly right. Trying to micromanage the universe, obsessing over how it has to happen, when it has to happen, that creates resistance. That desperation energy actually pushes things away.
Okay. It's like planting a seed. You water it, give it sun, that's the action.
Yeah.
But you don't dig it up every 5 minutes to see if it's grown. You trust the process.
Perfect analogy. And think about Jim Carrey, that famous story, writing himself that $10 million check way before he was famous. He visualized it, he believed it, but he also worked his butt up, he did stand-up, auditions, honed his craft. He acted and he trusted. And then, boom, Dumb and Dumber comes along and he gets that exact amount.
So the formula is kind of like ask, believe, act,
Mm-hmm.
and then release. Let go. Our job is the what and why.
Yeah.
The universe handles the how.
That's the essence of it. It's this dance. And really, what Nafousi keeps coming back to in Manifest, Dive Deeper, is that this whole thing isn't a quick fix. It's not a magic trick. It's a journey. It's about personal evolution.
Yeah, becoming the person who's actually a match for that desired life.
Very.
Not just wanting stuff, but fundamentally changing internally.
Exactly. Rewiring your soul, aligning your habits, healing your heart. So you're not just ready to receive the life you want, but you're actually able to hold it, to sustain it. Nafousi's core message is so empowering. That life you want, it's potentially already yours. You just need to become the version of you who's ready for it.
And she gives some practical daily things too, right, to start integrating this.
Yeah, simple but powerful suggestions.
Right.
Like a morning belief shift, consciously swapping an old limiting belief for a new one. An afternoon aligned action, just one concrete step. And an evening surrender meditation, letting go of control.
So it's this ongoing daily practice of inner work that then starts showing it on the outside. And that final thought from the book, you're not waiting for a miracle, you are the miracle.
That kind of sums it all up.
It really does. It's the heart of it. She shows how our inner world, our energy, our beliefs, our healing is the real powerhouse. It's about disrupting those old limits, daring to believe in more, and rebuilding yourself from the inside out. When you do that deep work, your outer world just has to start reflecting that inner transformation. It's inevitable. Definitely a much deeper, more involved take on manifestation than just making a vision board.
For sure. It's about taking radical responsibility for your inner state as the primary cause of your outer reality.
To close, please don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Spotify, to stay sharp and never miss a drop of knowledge that could change your financial life. Thank you.
And maybe just consider this. What one small belief shift could you make starting today that might begin to crack open what you believe is truly possible for your life?